First up on World Cup Day 5 was Switzerland versus Cameroon. Switzerland turned out 1-0 winners, but it wasn't without a fight. It was a tightly contested game between two sides. Switzerland, obviously, you could have seen them as slight favourites, but boy, Cameroon started off hot and they missed some really big chances. Choupo-Moting and Carl Toko Ekambi in particular. Some are making some important saves, but honestly, especially with the Choupo-Moting and the Otoko Ekambi chances, Cameroon should have put them away. And eventually, when they continued to push throughout that first half and didn't actually get anything from it, Switzerland took advantage of that in the second half and they hit them fast. Started the second half hot, and then in Briel Donald Mbolo, a Cameroon-born man, raised in Basel, scored the winner early in the second half, and Switzerland started to take control of the game more. The midfield of Granit Xhaka featuring, and they managed to close the game out. They could even score more goals, so Fairfield had a chance in stoppage time, but it was amazingly blocked by Castellello, I think his name is. What a centre-back. He actually had a decent performance out there. Some important defensive contributions, but obviously it didn't amount to much. But now these two have to face Brazil at some point. I believe it's Cameroon's turn to face Brazil first, and they do have it up against them because when they eventually play against Serbia, the group could be over for them. It was always going to be a tough group for them to qualify out of, but this performance is encouraging from them, especially from the first half. There's lots of positives they can take to try and see the positives. But obviously ultimately they lost when there was big opportunity to win, and they'll be very disappointed by that. Next up, we had Uruguay versus South Korea. Once again, it's another match that kind of underwhelmed a little bit. Once again, the sides are probably more well known, in particular of Uruguay, for the discipline defensively and just being really good at defending, really, as a unit, but also lacking a bit of attacking source. Now, of course, when you think of Uruguay and South Korea star players, you think of superstars. Heung-min Son for South Korea. And in Uruguay, you got the legends Cavani, Suarez, and the modern legend. Oh, man. Darwin Núñez. And of course, you got Valverde in midfield, pairing up with Bentancur. And then at the back, you got Godin and Jimenez. Nonetheless, I'm getting a bit drifted away. I was talking about the attackers only. So you'd have thought that those attackers that I mentioned just previously would have produced a bit of magic, especially with some of that mask on, leading his country. But it didn't prove to be the case. Similar to the Morocco-Croatia game, the teams kind of cancelled each other out. South Korea were really defensively organised, and they probably had maybe, in the first half, they definitely created more chances, but Uruguay had the best chance with Godin hitting the post. But also Wang Yujo, I believe that's his name. Hopefully I said it right. He missed a very good chance inside the box as well, just side-footed it over the bar, It's the difference when you lean back, if you lean forward, suddenly the ball's in the goal. But it's hard to think so clearly and calmly in such a high-pressure, high-moment situation. But a lot of games that have been happening in this group stage at this so far that teams have been quite cagey, and some of them have been kind of scared to take the initiative attacking wise. They focus a lot more on being defensively solid, which isn't the problem. But if you go out and win that game and you're rewarded for it, then the rewards you get from that are going to be absolutely gigantic. But all in all, it was another match that kind of underwhelmed, despite the attacking talent at display. And the two teams just seemed to focus on being defensively sound, which isn't really an issue. Now both teams got a point. And now they're going to continue to fight. And obviously, with the case of their group, they're going to wait and see what Portugal and Ghana do. They're probably assuming that Portugal go ahead and beat Ghana, but who knows? Wow. And Portugal versus Ghana. It ended 3-2. 3-2. Who would have seen that coming after the terrible first half? It was quite lackluster, a bit slow, very similar to the Uruguay-Korea game, between their fellow group mates. But in the second half, boy, didn't the game burst into life. It was one of those games that just got better and better with age. As the longer the game went on, the more entertaining and more crazy it got. Obviously, the game really started off when Ronaldo won the penalty. Ghana, they were competitive. You wouldn't say they were absolutely outclassed and bullied off the pitch. They held their own, but Portugal weren't at their best either. They were far from their best. Oh, so very far from their best. But I really feel like that 4-3-1-2 system does not fit them and have them playing at their maximum level, to be honest. That's just how I feel about it anyways. But obviously, Ronaldo managed to win the penalty 1-0, and it felt like Portugal were going to kick on from here. Nope. Ghana, in a few minutes, equalised. Andre Ayew. From more good work from Mohamed Kudus, the Ajax player. Oh, he had a very good performance today. Very good performance. And then Portugal scored again. João Felix. And then 2 minutes after João Felix scores, 2 minutes after João Felix scores, my guy, Rafael Leao, just came on. He goes and slots one in, and it's 3-1. And it's like, okay, now they've kicked on now. They're going to score more goals, and they're going to go on and win the game. But no. Instead, Ghana fight back again. I think Bukhari scores in the 89th minute. And my guy does the Ronaldo celebration as well. What are people doing this? Like, why are people just... I don't understand it, man. It's actually crazy to me. They just love doing his celebration. My guy was meant to go get the ball, pick it up like you normally do when you score a goal to get yourself back into the game and you're 1 goal behind. My guy ran away, did the sue, and then he went back to the... Oh my days. He's actually... And Ronaldo was pissed. I don't blame him for being pissed because he just did the same celebration early on in the game, but... After that, you thought, okay, Ghana going to try and push for a goal now. And maybe that might open things up for Portugal to score another goal. But no, what happens is when the game looks to be pretty much over, Diogo Costa, the Portugal goalkeeper, who I can't lie, I was surprised was starting, but apparently, he's in starting form over in the Portuguese league, forgets that Inaki Williams was behind him. In fact, he doesn't even know he's behind him. So Inaki Williams, as Diogo Costa drops the ball, swipes the ball off Diogo Costa's feet, but unfortunately slips at a critical moment. Right then and there could have been the comeback of the tournament so far, and really a point potentially well deserved for Ghana, to be honest. But he slipped, and it's not meant to be. This is just how it is, And obviously Inaki is going to be ruining that chance. And obviously, I'm sure you guys have all seen the Ronaldo face, the hands on his head and his mouth wide open, gaped open in shock. He couldn't believe what the hell he was witnessing, and not a lot of us couldn't do. The cameras didn't even pan it out. It only showed the aftermath as he slipped. Fam, oh my goodness. Can you imagine Ghana were a step away from getting a 3-3 draw against Portugal? All I know is that after this game, Portugal really need to step it up. I think a change of system will help. I'm not going to say get rid of Diogo Costa. Maybe he deserves another chance. But I feel like Fernando Santos feels like it's, in this type of tournament atmosphere, it's too risky to maybe give him another chance. Who knows? But he's been in great form, so maybe he does deserve another chance. And Portugal just weren't that great, and Ghana were competitive. Ghana really offered the best they could offer, being the team that they are, at the level that they are, being as defensively solid as they possibly can be. Apart from, classic Mohamed Salisu over-aggression, where he's just too aggressive at a tackle, where he could have been better holding his ground instead of just going in rash like that. He does it a lot at Southampton, so it was no surprise to see him translate that sort of ability to the international stage. But... even in Portugal, Cancelo just looked dodgy. All the goals came from his side of the pitch, But I feel like this Portugal team, like many teams that have already played this tournament, can do a lot better. But that's the game. That's the game. We're going to see teams improve as the tournament goes on. But, now it's time for Brazil-Serbia. Brazil 2, Serbia 0. At the end, it was comfortable, and Brazil were able to step it up in the second half, which is what a lot of top teams, Argentina, Germany, have failed to do throughout the tournament. Obviously, the first half was uninspiring. Brazil were probing with not much success if any, success. And Serbia were happy to sit back, soak the pressure, and continue to be compact and organised. And continue to make, the right defensive decisions, you could say. But in the second half, that'll change. There's a man called Richarlison. Of course, hasn't been the most inspiring for Tottenham this season, apart from the Champions League game against Marseille. But in this game, he showed what he is about when it comes to playing for Brazil and why he started ahead of Gabriel Jesus. 2 goals. One was a classic goal poacher strike, and one was just a beautiful acrobatic kick into the bottom of corner. World-class finish. Probably the goal of the tournament so far. Absolutely stunning. You know what I mean? But, yeah. All in all, Brazil should be very happy with their performance because they were able to step it up in the second half. Obviously, Serbia tried to respond. They threw in Vlahovic, but they left them more open, hence why they got the second goal. Brazil got the second goal, and they shut up shop later on. But I think Serbia know that the more important games will come in the matches against Switzerland and Cameroon, because I feel like that's probably what they plan to really get the major points from. And the Brazil game was just almost like a free hit, you could almost say. Maybe it would be nice to kind of treat it more like a free hit, but I guess when you play against a team with such deep attacking options, it's going to be hard to really try and be going toe-to-toe against them without having the same level of players in that part of the pitch. But Serbia did play to the maximum they could play. Of course, they could play a bit better, especially on the offensive, and they struggled to make chances. Brazil made chances, and obviously Rafinha's finishing was poor. That will probably improve. Vinicius' finishing was poor, but everything else about his game was fantastic. And of course, even the substitutes were Rodrigo, Martinelli, to have those options come off the bench along with Jesus. It's ridiculous. But all in all, a performance that Brazil should be happy with. But I think that's going to be all for day 5. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to catch you guys in the next episode.
Mini Laje.